Hello, friends. It is Nomad Brad coming to you from my box truck. I am here. Happy to see everyone today. Let me know how the volume's doing. I got my headset on. I always struggle with this when I'm streaming from my laptop. I always kind of struggle to know how the audio is. So let me know if it sounds good, if it needs to go up or down. And I have a live view here from my desk in my tiny home on wheels. And you can see I'm currently parked in a parking lot. I am in a town of Milpitas, California, close to San Jose. John C., I'm good to go. Dinner was salad, lean beef, mushrooms, onion, bell pepper, and chorizo. Happy to hear it, John. Polymath says sound is good. Revo Runner says good. Awesome. I appreciate it. Charles Serratos in the chat. Hello. Charlie Pepin says audio is a little low. King Gamer in the chat. Hello, King Gamer. Happy to see you. People want more volume. I'm going to kick it up a little bit here. Let's see what we can do. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Let's try that. Okay, let me know how that sounds. I bumped it up a pretty good amount. Super Dave, 77 degrees and 82% humidity. Too much. Yeah, I agree with you, Super Dave. When I was in Texas, the humidity was so brutal. I don't like the humidity. Everything's sticky and itchy. And even when the temperatures are lower, like it's not super hot, but that humidity just makes it feel kind of weird. So I definitely prefer low humidity. Audio is good, video is freezing. Looks like my internet is a little funky. Hold on. So I have a thing here within this program that monitors my internet speed, and it just looks like it's not very good. It's like red. There's red, yellow, and green, and it's just super red. Let's see. What if I turn off Wi-Fi on my phone? Oh, that kills my video? No. Please stand by. Yeah, I don't know. This might not work. Looks good here, Brad. Now we're on green, red. Okay, I don't know. Let me know if this works. If it's too laggy, we might do something else. I just turned off my iPhone Wi-Fi, and it looks like it might be a little bit better. I don't know. Revo says pretty choppy. Let's see if it smooths out. If it doesn't, if it's just miserable, then I might just have to try another time. Now it's working. So one thing I've noticed is the internet here in California is a little bit spotty. Even when I'm in like a major area, like a major town or something, sometimes the speeds are just not that good. A little laggy, but we can do it. Less choppy. Yeah, I've been super happy with the Nomad internet overall. My free contract with them is going to be running out sometime this winter, either December or January. And so I might consider getting Starlink. Not because I'm unhappy with Nomad, but sometimes I'd like to go places where there's literally no internet, and so I might try out Starlink. We'll see what happens. So, let's see. Let's just kick this thing off and hopefully the speed is okay or it gets better. I don't know. Just let me know if it gets absolutely miserable and you guys just can't see anything and it's all breaking up. Let me know and I'll just cut it and we'll reschedule for like tomorrow or something. Because I'll be on the move and then we can do it. We can do it another time because I know it's irritating to try to interact with something like this and it's all chopped up. King Gamer, what year is your rig and how many miles did it have? I have a 2007 Ford E450, and when I bought it, it had 120,000 miles. I bought it in Central Texas for $12,000. Mac Hawthorne, great to see you're feeling better. I hope to see you when you're back in Temecula. Oh, Mark, I'm sorry. Mark, hi. Happy to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. So I wanted to comment really quick off right at the top of the chat. Charlie Pepin, he mentioned, I hope the video doesn't open with you in bed, getting up in your undies to get dressed. I look forward to your videos, but they're starting to all be the same. How to find a spot using Google. Weren't you going to do some solar jobs up there and video it? I miss the build videos. So Charlie, I totally understand where you're coming from. What I want to address is when you run. So here's the thing. A YouTube channel, like the YouTube channel that I'm doing here, I'm trying to have it be profitable so that I can make enough money that it pays bills and allows me to spend the time that it takes to make a video. So making these videos takes quite a bit of time. I usually film each week's video over a couple days, and then it takes me a couple days to edit the video, right? Not like, two full, 12-hour days or something, but it's, when it's a creative process, it's something where you kind of have to do it over a couple days. You take breaks. When you're a nomad, you have other things to do in between. You have to relocate, that type of stuff. So my average video on YouTube, it takes about 4 days for me to complete a video between planning, filming, editing, voiceovers, all that stuff. And that's every week. So basically 4 hours or 4 days out of every week is committed to creating videos. And so in order for me to keep that going, I have to make enough money, to cover the bills and make it profitable. And so right now, my YouTube channel, it averages about $1,000 a month. And I'm grateful for that. I really am happy to have that $1,000 a month. It goes a long way as a nomad, right? Like $1,000 a month, that covers most of my expenses. But I would like to get it up, I would like to be up more around $3,000 a month, which really isn't a lot, but that would help me have money. Right now, the 1,000, I kind of need more than that per month, so I have to do other things. If I could bring in 3,000 a month from YouTube, then I could just focus on doing what I want. I could have savings and I could do cool projects. And so when I look back at my content, the videos that have got the most views recently have been like my living on the streets videos. I had a couple in San Diego that did over 100,000 views. And so those type of videos typically can generate more money, and they appeal to a little bit wider audience because, average people kind of want to see what it's like to live this lifestyle and how it all works out. And so the content I've been putting out lately, I've been trying to reach a broader audience that just wants to understand what the lifestyle is like and how it works. And so that's why I've been trying to do more of making coffee, moving around, finding places to park on Google Maps, showing what those places are like. So that's why I've been doing that type of content, is because right now I'm not doing a build. My vehicle's complete. And so I don't have any build content to share with you guys. I wish I did, but I don't. I have done a couple small solar jobs here. But the challenge I run into is when I'm doing work for somebody, if I'm going to film it while I'm doing the work, it takes almost twice as long. I know it doesn't seem like it would, but it does. To like, you have to, mentally, you're like thinking about, okay, I got to get this shot, I got to get this shot. Let's move the camera around. And what I've found is when I'm doing installs, um, it's harder for me to focus and it's easier for me to like make mistakes and miss steps when I'm not focused on the work at hand and I'm thinking about the filming process. So not only does it take longer, but it's also harder for me to focus. And so that's something I'm kind of struggling with on install filming like these solar jobs. Like for example, I did one last week for a lady. It was a relatively smaller job. Um, and it took me most of the day. I got to her house at 10 a.m. I finished the job about, but if I would have tried to film it, all of a sudden that would have been like a 2-day job. And, it's just, it didn't really make sense for what I had going on. David, what about sponsors? Would that help? So here's the problem with sponsors. Everything is like a trade-off, right? So I've done some sponsored videos in the past, like my e-bike review. Um, what else have I done? I've done a few sponsored videos. Here's the problem. In order to get paid for the size of my channel, lost audio and video. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't know. This might not work. It looks like it's lagging out pretty good. Are you guys still with me? It looks like it's cutting out. Here's the deal with sponsored videos. In order to get paid by sponsors for the size of my channel, I have to do dedicated reviews. And so that means I have to make a full video, like 8 to 12 minutes, reviewing their product. And the problem is, people don't really like to watch those videos. And I don't blame them. I don't like to watch those videos either. So, like, if you look back at my video history, like that e-bike review video I did, it got like, I don't know, 1,500 views, which is really bad. And so here's the problem. The challenge is, yeah, sponsors will pay you, but when I put out a dedicated video, I get low views. So then it hurts my algorithm, right? So then YouTube sees that my latest video got really low views, and so they don't recommend that video, and then my next future videos will kind of take a hit. So it's like this whole slippery slope of like, you want to get money, YouTube can pay, sponsors can pay, but it's this delicate balance of like trying to juggle and figure out how you can make content that people enjoy, that they want to watch, but then also get paid. So at this point, I'm not really doing any more sponsor videos because they just don't get views. And I think overall it's hurting my channel. And some of them pay decent, 500 to $1,000, but it's not worth it to put out a video that's low performing, and then it hurts the algorithm. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure it out, guys. And the other thing too is, as a nomad, when you have a nomad based channel and you're traveling like I am, the only content I can really create is what's happening, right? Like all I can do is share what I'm doing. And so a lot of times, what I'm doing is just stealth camping, um, finding places to park. I mean, that's nomad life, right? So that's the other thing too is, when I have to do a video every week and I only have a few days in between completing one video and starting a new video. I only have a window of a few days. And so it's like, I just kind of am limited to filming what's going on at that moment. So that's where it's at. I understand what you guys are saying. But so here's the thing. And here's something I wanted to talk about today. Yeah, Matt agrees with me. He doesn't mind the shorter stuff. The longer ones are annoying. So that's the thing. Um, um, there's also an option to do an integrated video, which is like a 2 to 3 minute ad, and that's what most of the larger channels do. Like a couple minutes into their video, they'll do a 2 to 3 minute ad, and so I can do those. But right now, my channel is too small to where it doesn't really pay that well. So it's kind of not even really worth my time at this point. So it might be something I'll look at in the future. But yeah, I agree with you guys. You can do the integrated videos; those are a lot better. And yeah, Eamon and Beck, I mean, they have like millions of followers. So if I get my numbers up, then that's something I can really look into. Chilling in DC, I like the vids where you're trying to find places to stay low key. Yeah, and that's my thought too. Is I'm like, stealth camping content is great content though. Post that stuff. Yeah, see, I think like in my mind, I think the stealth camping content is good because a lot of van life channels, they're not really sharing that stuff. When I look back at especially a lot of the big channels like Trent the Traveler or Ryan Twomey, those guys are all just doing destination based van life and cooking. Like that's it. It's like they're at a spot, it's beautiful, they're doing some drone, they're hanging out, they're cooking. But that's really all that's in the video. Like none of these bigger channels really show, the practicality of what it's actually like to do this stuff. And I feel like my channel specifically has a lot of folks that are newer to van life, like actual people that are interested in van life, not just people on YouTube that want something interesting to watch. And I think Ryan and Trent's channel is a lot of people that are just regular folks and they like the content, but I feel like my followers are more people that are interested in van life. So I like doing the stealth camping stuff. I like showing people, what it's actually like. The one I put out a couple weeks ago, um, the San Jose video, that did 12,000 views. That's pretty decent. I'd like to get 100K, but 12,000 is pretty good. So in the meantime, I'm just going to keep rolling with stealth camping videos for now, and we'll see how the channel evolves. But at the end of the day, it's got to make money for me to put this much time into it. Yeah, Trent. So all those channels, once they get super big, like Trent or Ryan, and after you've been doing van life for so long, it gets to the point where, as a creator, they probably are tired of making those videos, and so they want to do other stuff. So Trent might do maybe some international. I think he did like a Japan travel video. He might turn it. Well, that's the thing too, is he changed his name to Trent the Traveler. So to me, that alludes to the fact that he's going to be getting into travel vlogs, travel videos, which is awesome for him. So getting back to me, what I what I'm interested in is I do enjoy the build videos, and I like showing you guys how I do it. And my stealth build series has done pretty well. It's not huge numbers, but I get a lot of people that are watching my videos and are um, legitimately using it for advice. I got an email tonight from a lady that watched my pass through door video where I cut the pass through in, and she was asking about the accordion boot that I used, and that video is like a year and a half old. So it's pretty cool to see that people are actually watching my videos and finding it helpful, and they're putting it towards their goal of hitting the road, living in a vehicle. And so I really like that. And so I want to get back to more build videos. Um, and so here's my thought process. So I really like this box truck. I'm super happy with it. It's super cozy. I've had a great time stealth camping here in California. It's delivering everything that I want and need. However, um, I think it's time to build another one. And so I've been thinking for a while about, um, what type of platform. Yeah, Debo found me from those videos. See? I believe it. I've been thinking for a while about what platform to get. Initially, I wanted to get a. Uh, Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. Initially, I wanted to get the Econoline box truck again. Let me turn off this webcam. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Let me think about this. iPhone. Here we go. Okay, so I right now I have the Ford Econoline. I really like it. I had been wanting to get the new Ford E450 box truck because it comes with the 7.3 liter gas engine. And yeah, Robert agrees with me. No one shares the stealth camping stuff. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. So I wanted to get the 2021 Econoline box truck because it has the 7.3 engine, 6-speed transmission, and it's just, I wanted to get something kind of new that had all the, bells and whistles. Let's see. So the challenge is, in order to get the 2021, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money. So basically 30 grand is like the limit of what it's gonna cost me for one of these box trucks. They range between 30 and 45 grand. And for me, that's just way off base. Like, that's way out of touch for me to spend 30 grand on, I don't have that. For me to spend 30 to 40 grand on a rig and then another 12 to 15 grand to build it out. That's a pipe dream. Now what's this? So here's the thing. The reason I would, can I stop that from loading? Okay. I'm actually just going to stop that. I feel like this is just chewing up my internet. Okay. I feel like my internet is so limited right now. Okay, my rig is sweet. So the reason I would upgrade is because I want a little more space. And that's the trade-off of a vehicle, right? The more space you have, the bigger it is, the harder it is to park. My current vehicle, it's a 12-foot box. The bumper-to-bumper length is 21 feet. If I went up to the next size U-Haul, it's a 14-foot box. The floor is 14 foot, so that buys me 2 more feet. The bumper-to-bumper length is 23 feet. And so 23 feet is about the most I would want to do, because at 23 feet, I'm giving up a little space. I'll have a little more challenge parking, but I can still make it happen. And so, but the other thing I stumbled upon is, oh, let me do this. I want to share another page with you guys. Hold on one second. Let me set this up. I forgot to set this up before. Hold on. Window capture. Let me open this up. Hold on. Cancel. Bear with me for a minute. I'm going to share another screen with you guys. Oops, what's going on here? There we go. You know what? Can I just, let's see. Let me try this. Plus, screen capture. Okay. Let's do application capture. Let's try this. Application pages. Let's try this. Okay. Did that work? Not that one. Hold on. Let me see if I can make this happen here real quick. Okay. I don't think that's going to work. Oh my goodness. Can I do this? Let's see. Hold on. Let me try to minimize this. Sorry, guys. I should have set this up before. Okay. So I think you guys... Yeah, okay. So you guys can see this, right? Okay. Okay, I think you guys can see that. Anyway, this is an Isuzu NPR box truck. It's pretty common. It's pretty common vehicle, and there's quite a few box truck builds that use this platform. In fact, I did an electrical install for a client named Jen, and I installed an electrical system for her. And these box trucks, now the reason I had kind of counted these out is because I always thought I don't want to have a box truck where I can't get from my bed into the cab to drive away if I'm in kind of a sketchy situation. I felt like having that access was like a little bit of a safety feature for me. And so um and so for that reason, I always just discounted them. But in the box truck that I'm in now, let me put my camera up here. The box truck I'm in now, I have so much extra stuff in here packed up under the bed that um I currently can't even get from my bed to the cab without like moving a whole bunch of stuff. So if there was an emergency, I could move everything out, but the reality is I haven't been using it. For the last like 4 or 5 months, um I have been basically just using the rear entry door. And so now I'm considering them. So here's the cool thing about this. This is an Isuzu NPR. Here's what I like about it. The box on this is 16 feet. So now instead of a 12-foot living space, I'm going up to 16 feet. So that buys me an extra 4 feet of living space. And the beautiful thing is the bumper to bumper length is only 23 feet. So the U-Haul equivalent of this would be the 14-foot box. So I'm getting an extra 2 feet of living space by going. The reason why is because this is the cab over. The cab is literally sitting above. It gets about 15 miles per gallon. So that would be like the same fuel economy as the 7.3 Godzilla engine. And what I really like about it, check this out. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the cab tilts forward and you have access to the entire engine. It's wide open. So a vehicle like this would be extremely easy to work on. The Econoline I have now, the way that engine is like shoehorned in the body, it's super difficult to do some jobs because because of that setup. So with this vehicle, you tilt the cab open and you can access anything. It's easy to change plugs, manifolds, whatever you need to access. So I really like that. And then you get still the 7-foot ceilings and almost 8 feet wide. So, and here's another beautiful thing. This vehicle, you can purchase these used for $12,000 to $18,000. I did a little drawing here. So I would put the door on this side, and then I would put a nice little window, and I would mount the mini split up above the window. And I think that'd be a pretty good layout. And another cool thing about this is if you look, okay, so look at this. Can I zoom in on this? Okay. So if you look at the back of the box here, it has the little 2-rung ladder. So each side has a little step ladder. So you can, and a little handle up here. So you can easily just step up the side and then you're walking on this deck. And so I would have my door right here easy to access. But also a lot of these vehicles have lift gates installed. So this right down here, this is a hydraulic lift gate. And look what this looks like in the deployed position. Look at that. So it folds away under the box truck, completely hidden. And then if you want to have like a deck for hanging out outside, you have this whole lift gate platform that you can just motor up and you can hang out right on the back deck. Pretty cool, right? So all of a sudden, I'm kind of a fan of these Isuzu NPR box trucks. Debo says, how would you make that stealth? Um, Debo, I mean, I feel like this is pretty stealth. It's a commercial vehicle. You see these box trucks all over the cities, all over towns. Um, I think as is, it's a very stealth commercial vehicle. And when I say stealth, that's what I'm talking about. I want a vehicle, because we're talking about big vehicles, I think the only vehicles that can be big and stealthy are vehicles that look like they're business vehicles. That's why buses and school buses really aren't stealthy, because you never see school buses or shuttle buses out in the wild that aren't being used for school unless people are living in them. So school buses not stealthy, shuttle buses not really stealthy. Um, I'm people saying no sound. I don't know about that. I think I'm broadcasting. It might be on your end, or it's just my shitty connection. I'm sorry, guys. This is brutal. The connection sucks. I don't know what to say. I wish it was better. Um, how much rhymes with orange? How much? You can get these for $12,000 to $18,000. Very affordable. Diana Sailor, that would be handicapped accessible. Yeah, absolutely. You could wheel right up on the lift, motor it up, and handicapped accessible. Yeah, it cuts in and out. Sorry, guys. I know it's shit. I wish it was different. It's not. So this is what I'm looking at. So, um, this isn't something that is going to happen like really soon. I need some things to fall into place financially. But this is my kind of my goal. And so I think it's important to set goals and just have an idea of what your next step is. And it's better to have those goals and then kind of try to work towards them. And at least if you set your mind on kind of what the plan is, then it's easier to execute against that plan. So that's what I'm thinking. 16-foot Isuzu NPR, 5.2 turbo diesel, 23-foot bumper to bumper, 12 to $18,000. And I think it's going to be super stealthy. I'll just have one window on each side, and the window in the back, the door, the AC. I mean, I know it's like, okay, it's not ultimate stealth to have those items, the air conditioner and the door and stuff, but I think it's still not going to draw attention. I really think it's not going to draw that much attention. Big T, I love that style of truck, so easy to work on. That's what I'm saying. When I realized you can flip the cab forward and access anything, there are so many things I could fix on it. And it should be way easier for mechanics to work on it than, this van I have now. So it's kind of what I'm thinking. Robert, you could fit a huge amount of solar. Yeah, that's the goal, right? So with a 16-foot box, I could fit 2,000 watts on the roof easily. I would do a mini split again on the rear. I would do a little bit larger battery bank. I would do an actual bathroom stall. So now I have an extra 4 feet of living space. So I would absolutely do a dedicated bathroom with a door for the toilet and the shower, bigger water tank, water heater, all that kind of stuff. Your last diesel, you didn't like the sound of the engine. Yeah, John C., I agree with you. That last diesel I had was a terrible, terrible thing. And so I think the biggest problem with it is because it was on an Econoline chassis, it had the doghouse like in the cab, right? So you have the engine compartment in the cab, and so a lot of noise transmits through that little engine compartment. And also sometimes like smoke would come in because that engine compartment isn't currently sealed. So on this vehicle, the cab is completely sealed and it's separate from the engine compartment. And the cab sits up on like isolators above it. So it'll still probably be a little bit of a vibration and a little bit noisier than a gasoline engine, of course, but the main reason is miles per gallon. That's my concern. Right now I'm getting about 9. If you get the gasoline version of this, they only get 8 miles per gallon. If I get this diesel version, it gets me 15. So I think for the fuel economy trade-off, I would consider this. Um, and I think it's probably not going to be as loud and as noisy as that 7.3 Ford Power Stroke that I had. That thing was just a menace. So I'm willing to try it. Um, but yeah, you're right, John. I did not like that shuttle bus with the 7.3 diesel. It was a mess. Uh, Animus, your current truck is pretty nice. How much should something like that fetch on the open market? Would you include your current solar with the bill? Yes. So here's the thing. In the past, I've always sold my current conversions in order to fund my next conversions. So my last box truck, I sold that in like 2002, I think it was '02, for $30,000. And it had way less features than this truck. It only had 600 watts of solar. It had AGM batteries. I mean, it was not at all as advanced. This one, way more advanced, way better. It's got a mini split, so many more things. But also, the economy is in a different place. When I sold that last box truck, it was during COVID, and the economy was booming, and people were buying vans left and right. So the reality is, I don't know what this box truck is worth. I would need to get at least, I know, right? Crazy. Yeah, I sold that for 30 grand. It was not nearly as nice as this one. So I would like to get, yeah, exactly. Revo Runner. I would line the cab with Dynamat. And so that would help a lot. I'd like to get 30 grand out of this box truck though, as a minimum. Because if I'm going to buy a new truck for say 15 grand, that would give me 15 grand to spend on materials. And I think 30 grand for this is reasonable. I mean, the truck itself, if you were just going to go buy this U-Haul off the lot, it would cost you 12 grand. I've easily spent $5,000 just in vehicle maintenance. All the bushings, suspensions, shocks, all that stuff rebuilt. I've easily spent 5 grand in maintenance. Fuel injectors, all kinds of stuff. So that puts you at about 17 grand for the truck and just the maintenance into it. New tires too. And then my build out, all the stuff in here, retail, is around 12 grand. I know it doesn't seem like it, but you know, sheets of plywood were $100 a piece. It all adds up when you're doing a build out. So if you put 12 grand onto, what did we say, 17 grand, you know, and I'm not even accounting for any labor. So, Will, maybe just, Will, maybe log in and out. It's worth what other people are willing to pay. Would you sleep in it? Yeah, alt code guy, exactly what other people are willing to pay. Um, so that's the thing. I'd like to get 30 for it. And I feel like from the standpoint of a buyer, you cannot buy a converted home on wheels for 30 grand. You can't. You're I mean, any kind of ProMaster, Transit, Sprinter that's even mildly built is going to cost you 40 grand plus, unless it has like insane mileage. And a $40,000 ProMaster or Sprinter isn't going to have what I have. It ain't going to have a mini split. It ain't going to have a ton of solar. The benefit of this vehicle is it's a self-sufficient off-grid home on wheels. I mean, I've had the AC running for the last 3 days here in Cali. No problems. I mean, this is a home on wheels. This isn't just a van conversion. The only downside, there's no shower. And I know that's going to be a problem for people. People want showers. So You could remodel it and add a shower, but that'll be a tough selling point. So anyway, that's the plan. It's not really for sale right now. It would be worth much more if I painted the door pulls orange. I appreciate that, Real Van Man. I'll consider that. Anyway, that's the plan. I'm not really selling this right now. I'm just talking about it, putting some ideas out there. Um, yeah, right, Debo, 30K is a steal. But the question is who's going to buy it, right? Money's tight right now. People are hurting. And so it's like, the people that want to buy this, I don't know if they have the money. Also, 30K is my floor. That's the minimum I would accept to let this go. Below 30, it just doesn't even make sense. Uh, living in the Home Depot parking lot in Arizona building it out. That was a nightmare. That van was way too small. Anyway, so the thing is, I think it would be really fun content. I think it would bring a lot more. I think it would bring a lot more viewers to the channel. It would be exciting, because then I could do more build series videos. And let me tell you guys, I have a lot of ideas since I've done this build out. A lot of cool stuff that I've found out about, a lot of new materials, a lot of things I would incorporate into a new build that were not done in this build. So the videos for my next build out will be even better because I already have some ideas that are really, really exciting. So that's kind of the plan. Just putting it out there. And I think it'd be fun. So basically, if I did it in Arizona over the winter, I would have a few months to get it livable. And all you really need to do is insulation, flooring, walls, electrical, actually not even walls, flooring, and rear door and electrical. Is all you have to do to make it livable. So I'd have to do the flooring insulation, then the flooring, then the roll-up door, isolate it, cut in the man access door, and then the electrical system, and it's livable. And in Arizona in the winter, it doesn't get hot, and then I could just take my time building it out. I could definitely do it a lot faster. Um, um, this build would be even faster than my previous builds, just knowing what I know now. It would still be time consuming, and it wouldn't be all finished right away. It still would take me probably a year to finish out. But what I would probably do is spend all winter in Arizona, get it built out, and then go over to San Diego once it gets too hot in Arizona and complete the build out. And I could probably have it complete in, I don't know, 9 months. Probably 9 months. Debo, can you talk about how you go about finding your vehicles? Yes. So where I find vehicles at is basically these days, everything is on Facebook Marketplace. That's the main place because everybody has a Facebook account and it's just so easy. Oh, by the way, guys, thanks for the super chats. I appreciate it. Diana Saylor tipping me. And also, I had one earlier from Charlie Pepin. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Any amount helps. And just the fact that you guys take the time to super chat me, I appreciate it. It shows that you guys, you're appreciating the content and you care about me. And I care about you guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. King Gamer says, with the help of King, we can get it done in 4 months. There you go. King's got the carpentry skills. He's going to help me out with the carpentry. So as far as, let me talk about where I buy vehicles at really. Just go to Facebook Marketplace, search Type in, like for this one, I typed in Isuzu NPR. If you want a box truck, type in 12-foot box truck, type in a Econoline box truck. You know, try different search terms, but Marketplace is really the best place to find stuff. And that's where you're going to get your lowest prices. There is a website called Commercial Truck Trader, and um, it's like an auto trader for commercial vehicles, but their prices are a lot higher because it's kind of like business to business. You can still get some good deals, but it's not going to be as cheap as Facebook Marketplace. So that's where I go. It's pretty simple. I found basically all my past vehicles on either Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. But the reality is, no one really uses Craigslist anymore. It's pretty much dried up. Facebook banned me forever. Mischief Maker asking about Arizona. So Southern Arizona, my dad lives in Yuma, and so I go over there and visit him. My mom lives up near Phoenix. Excuse me. So I'll be visiting her this summer or this winter. But basically, Southern Arizona, like the Quartzsite area, there's lots of BLM land where you can go and just stay for free. You can be relatively close to a Home Depot, and there's a lot of other nomads in the area. So the Quartzsite area, Parker, Arizona, is also good for nomads. Yeah. Nomad, King Gamer, where do you like to search for rigs? Yeah, alt code guy, I agree with you. Box truck living, it's the cheapest form of housing, and it's mobile. I mean, have you guys seen what happened in North Carolina? That storm that wiped them out? I have a friend that I knew in Texas a couple years ago. Him and his wife moved to North Carolina 1 year ago. They bought a piece of land on a river. They spent $100,000 not on the land, on infrastructure to build out this Airbnb glamping resort. They put $100,000 into the land plus the purchase price of the land. They're into it for like 250K. It all got wiped away. Every bit of their they had like tiny homes set up, glamping tents, their main house, it all got wiped away by this flood. And honestly, I don't even know if they were insured or like if they're going to be able to recover any of that. And that doesn't even include labor. So my point is, when you have a tiny home in a vehicle, you can move. You know, you don't have to hunker down. Um, like Florida has all these hurricanes. There's so much craziness right now going on in the world. I would have a hard time mentally committing to living in a single location. It's like you don't know, what's going to be safe from weather or politics or from weird economic stuff. So I really think it's a benefit to have a home that is it's remote. You can relocate anywhere. And I I generate all my own electricity. I'm not relying on the grid. You know what I mean? If we have brownouts or the power goes down, I'm not affected. I have a limited ability to store water and a limited ability to store food, but otherwise I got a comfortable dry place to live and I can generate my own electricity. So honestly, I think more and more people are going to be thinking about this. And you know what's interesting? I'll tell you guys something. When Hurricane Katrina hit, I flew down with my church to help with like the relief efforts. And so I was there for about a week, and we drove around and did some tours of the area that was hit by Katrina. And you know what's interesting? You would drive through these places that got wiped out. There were houses that had like, flood marks on them where you could see like water entered and flooded these homes. And all these homes had nice cars in the driveway. They had Cadillacs, they had new BMWs, they had all these nice cars. And you know what happened is all these people that got their stuff messed up in the flood, they got either FEMA money or they got insurance money, and instead of putting that money into their houses, because they realized their houses are susceptible to getting wiped out. They put all their money into nice cars, which, I mean, it's kind of silly that they bought like new BMWs. That's kind of a bad investment. But what they should have done is they should have bought box truck tiny houses, because then you can take your home anywhere. So that's kind of my thought, is as things get more and more unstable and the cost of housing, all the expenses rise, more and more people are going to turn to this lifestyle. And I mean, here's the thing too. This lifestyle, it's pretty damn comfortable. Like, people don't understand how nice it is. I mean, my house is nice. You know what I mean? It looks like a nice kind of luxury studio apartment. I don't pay rent, water, sewage. You know, I got full solar, air conditioning. It's not a bad lifestyle. So it's like, once people realize it, I think it's going to become a lot more popular. So that's my take on it. Journey with Nicole, thank you. I appreciate you. Debo, appreciate the super chats. Appreciate you guys for being here. I really have fun hanging out with you guys. Generating your own fuel. Yeah, Mischief Maker. Yeah, you're right. I'll run out of food. But my idea too is that you just relocate. For the most part, most of these natural disasters, they had some warning. And even in North Carolina, they did not get a lot of warning, but they had enough that if you were in a box truck or a van in North Carolina, you could have got out. What happened is people didn't have enough time to prepare their homes, because it takes a lot more time to like prepare your home. You got to load all your stuff into your car. You might not have enough car to hold your stuff. But when your entire, when everything you own is in your vehicle, all you have to do is turn the key and drive away. And so it's pretty easy to evacuate and relocate. Nicole, I have some dehydrated food. Oh, thank you. You're going to get a wife, raise a family in a box truck. Clark Leakins. Nope. I'm almost 40, brother. Wife and kids ain't happening. That's passed me by. At this point, I'm just trying to enjoy my life and, enjoy the human experience. But family ain't happening for me. Sean. Hey, Brad, with the high price of vehicles right now, I'm going to get a camper shell and put it on my F-150. Yeah, it depends. I think vehicle prices are actually coming down. All the new vehicles are super expensive. Some used vehicles are expensive. But honestly, the funny thing is, like, van prices, box truck prices, all that kind of stuff isn't really going up. And here's why. Box trucks and shuttle buses, those are all kind of commercial vehicles that businesses buy. And right now, the economy is pretty tough on business. I don't think a lot of businesses are growing right now. I think a lot of businesses are selling off assets. So box truck prices are pretty decent, and they might even go down over the next, 12 months. Same with shuttle buses, they're cheap. As far as vans go, I think vans are still not going to be as cheap. But it's all relative to the market, and there's just not that many people that are in the market for used box trucks and shuttle buses. Mischief Maker, I could survive 30 plus days, only need water. Yeah, Mischief Maker, I hear you. I used to have a bunch of food rations stocked up in my van, but they all expired because I never used them. So as it is right now, I could survive a couple weeks on what I got in here, but I think it's pretty rare that we're going to be in a situation where there's just no food left. And again, keep in mind, you can relocate. So the idea that like there's going to be some massive plague or like food shortage that just crushes the entirety of America, I think that's the chances of that happening are pretty rare. I think there's going to be places that'll be hit pretty hard, but I really can't envision a future where just the entirety of America gets wiped out. And if that is a future, then at that point, it's just survival of the fittest. It's going to be zombie apocalypse, and it's going to be real wild and nasty. And so I hope you're armed, because people are going to try to take from you. Matt AK. Yeah, so I mean, who was it? Sean. Yeah, F-150 with the camper. I mean, Sean, if that's the vehicle you have now, I would say just go for it, right? I understand not everyone's in a place to buy a new vehicle. If you have an F-150, especially if it's like financed and you owe money on it, you can't get out of it. Yeah, throw a camper shell and get started. I started out before I actually committed to van life. I had a 99 F-150 with a camper shell, and I did like a bed platform, and then underneath the bed platform was all storage. So you can absolutely do it. I would say that's going to be maximum stealth. I would put a solar panel on the roof. I would do a DC to DC charger for some kind of power station, and you're basically good to go. So it's a starting point. You know what I mean? And right away you're saving money. I would say it's not a good long-term solution, but if you are working or making money somehow, it should allow you to save money pretty rapidly because your expenses will be very low, and then you could get into something bigger. You might consider towing a trailer, like a cargo trailer. You can buy a used cargo trailer for pretty cheap, like 4 to 6 grand. Like a 12 or 14-foot cargo trailer, and that would get you a lot of space. Depending on what you're looking to do, I don't really like driving a vehicle with a trailer. I don't really want to do that, but it just depends on what you're interested in. If you're looking for the lowest cost, to highest like benefit, I would do a cargo trailer behind your F-150. It's going to be cheap, and then the trailer is going to give you a ton of room. And then the nice thing too is you can unhook from the trailer and you can just drive the truck around. So for example, you could leave the trailer during the day, like in a parking lot, like maybe at a Home Depot, something like that where it kind of would just blend in. Or if you're going to be in the same location for a while, you could rent a trailer parking at a storage facility that's secured and locked up. And you could drop the trailer and leave it there for, whatever time, and then drive the truck around to get supplies, whatever you want to do. So definitely some options. And also the cargo trailer is going to be super stealthy. Cargo trailer is going to be really stealthy. Versus a travel trailer. If you pull a travel trailer, everybody's going to know you're living in it. If you pull a cargo trailer, very few people will know you're living in it. Mischief Maker, fast chargers. I don't agree that solar is going to become obsolete, because here's the thing. With solar panels, I can charge all day in the sun wherever I'm at. So there's a lot of times, like here in this parking lot that I'm at, I didn't move for 2 days. I ran my air conditioner, all my electricity. I didn't drive anywhere. So there's still pretty high value in being able to generate electricity while being parked. Especially if we're talking about some shit hits the fan situation, because you want to be able to hunker down. You don't want to be fighting Tesla owners for a supercharger station. So yeah, I would definitely say you still want to get solar, and solar's pretty affordable too, very cheap. But I think it's cool that they have fast chargers, and you could easily charge up a battery bank. Yeah, sorry about the internet. Park out on BLM for 2 weeks, and I can generate free electricity for 2 weeks just based on my roof. So solar will not be obsolete. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, the internet sucks. I wish it was better. California's been a little crazy for internet. I do want to get a Starlink. Alt code guy says Starlink is crap. Whatever you look at, everything has pros and cons. There's no magic bullet for internet or anything else. So, do the best I can. And this is the struggle of being a nomad. If I was in a sticks and bricks, I would just have some high speed fiber, Google Fiber, and I'd be blazing fast. But then I wouldn't be nomad. Yeah, batteries are getting cheaper too, Charlie says. He's right on that. It's a great time to be starting a new build. Electronics are getting very cheap. Clark, buying a parking lot rented out to overnight travelers. The problem is with any of this stuff, the problem with any of this is going to be local regulations and insurance. If because the minute the city or municipality finds out, you're basically running a campground at that point. And so you have to have all kinds of permits and fees, and it's a good idea, but it ain't gonna work. And then insurance, it would be a nightmare to get insurance for that. And then the amount of money you would have to charge to cover your overhead, people wouldn't be willing to pay it because you're talking about, catering to people on a budget and low income people. They don't have a lot of money. So it's a good idea, but I don't think it's practical. All right, guys, I'm going to close out. The internet's been glitching hardcore. I appreciate all you guys for being here. We went an hour tonight. We talked about some cool stuff, and I appreciate you guys. I'm going to keep going. New video coming out Sunday. Appreciate you guys for sticking around. I know the videos are different, and they're all over the place, and it's not quite what everybody wants, but I can't please everybody. And so for the next few weeks, it will be travel, stealth camping type content because that's what I'm doing, and that's the only thing I can really create content on is what I'm doing. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming around. Thanks for the super chats. I appreciate all the contributions and the donations. I like to know you guys are appreciating everything that I'm putting out here. And so that's it. I'll see you guys next week on a live Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific. Thanks, everyone. Nomad Brad signing out.